Hello, my name is Thomas Buell, and today I'm going to be showcasing my pen testing lab environment that I've set up. This is a final project through ICS 482. The professor is Joseph Klein, and this is through Metropolitan State University. I should say that this video is solely for educational purposes and that I'm not liable for any damage or harm that may come through this video. Okay, so to start off, here on the screen, I have my hypervisor set up. It's on the VMware Workstation Pro. And what the hypervisor is it's a system that allows you to have a bunch of different computers or VMs or virtual machines is what they're called on the same system. So over here on the left, you'll see under My Computer, I have a Kali Linux VM set up. I have an Ubuntu VM set up, and then Ubuntu server. And that's Ubuntu server is acting as the server for this network. And so all three of these are set up on the same network. And the way you can check that is you can click on the individual VM, and you can go up to VM settings. And then it'll pop up a screen here, and we can go to network adapter, and it will show custom specific virtual network. So that I've clicked on the custom radio button here, and under it is VMnet2 host only. So VMnet2 host only is the specific VM that I've set up. So for that one, let me just exit that. And then so for this one, I'll check it as well. VM settings, pop up, you can go to network adapter. Again, you'll see VMnet2 host only, okay. And then on the final one, the Ubuntu server, we'll go there, check VM settings. And again, we'll see it's the VMnet2 host only. So all these have that same customized network that I've set up. But then how do we check, how do we get them to communicate with each other, the two? So I've opened up the terminal on my Kali Linux VM. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run sudo ifconfig because I'm not on the root. And then I'll have to enter in the password. And so what does this command pull up? It pulls up a lot of information, but the thing that we're most interested in is this inet, which is the IP address for this specific VM. So 192.168.170.128. And then over here, you see the net mask or subnet mask. And what that is for each of these sections, it's 8 bits. So 8, 8, 8, 24. You don't count the last one because it's a 0. And so for these first three sections, that is the network's IP. Not the 255, but these first three. So 192.168.170. Those are all of the VMs or computers on this network are going to have these first three sections the same. It's this last section, the 0, is basically a question mark. We don't know what it's going to be for each of the VMs. We have to check each of them. So if I go over here, and I type ifconfig, it's going to pull up and see it's 192.168.170.130. This one was 128, so they're different. And then we can check this last one. I'll have to open up the terminal by right-clicking and clicking on that. Okay, and then we do ifconfig. It pulls up, and that one's 129 ending. Okay, so we verified again the second way that they're all on the same network, but they have different IP addresses. So then how are we going to get them to communicate? So we can do a ping request and we're going to ping the specific IP address for each of them. So 168.170, and we'll do the first one 130. Or ping it. And immediately it starts pulling up stuff. So 64 bytes, and then it goes sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way down. And over here it tells you the time that it's that the ping request. And then if you want to stop this, it'll keep going. If you don't, you can press Control-C and it'll stop it. And you can see on the bottom here, 15 packets transmitted, 15 received. So we sent 15 packets over, and then we received 15 back, saying that if you receive that, then it's a success. And it says 0% of the packets were lost. So again, another success. Okay, so then we go over here. Let's try, because we just 130. Let's go over here and let's do 129, which will be that one. So let's ping that. Let's ping 129. 192.168.170.129. And again, it starts pulling up right away. And so it's looking like it's a success. So you can do Control C. And we got 6 packets transmitted, 6 received, 0 packets lost. Okay, so let's go over here for the final one here. Let's ping our Kali Linux, which is 192.168.128. And immediately we start receiving ping requests. So I'll do Control C, looks correct, 5 packets, 5 received. And then, so just to show you what it would look like if we didn't receive, if they weren't on the same network, I'm just going to do the up arrow to make it easier. And I'm just going to type in just a random IP address, 133. It's taking a little bit longer, as you can see. And then it starts pulling up and it says destination host unreachable. So that's what you would get if you couldn't find that IP address on the system. So far in this video, I've shown that these 3 VMs over on the left are all connected on the same network and they can communicate with each other. For the second part, I'm going to be showcasing a tool. We each got to pick a tool that we wanted to showcase within Kali Linux, and the one I chose is Wireshark. And so to open Wireshark in your system, all you have to do in the terminal is just type in Wireshark, press enter, and a GUI will pop up of Wireshark, and the GUI is a graphical user interface. And so Wireshark is a packet analyzing tool, and it's used by companies, it's used by pen testers, it's used by blue team, red teams, and unfortunately it's used by hackers who are up to no good, unfortunately. It's a very useful tool, very high tech, very advanced. The reason why I chose to do it is because I've heard so many things about it. I've actually used it in labs in this class and in another class, but I just kind of used it and didn't really know all of its tools, what it was used for, just kind of used the basics. So I did a little bit more research. I wanted to challenge myself and learn a little bit more, and I did learn a lot of things. So when it first opens up, here is a list of network interfaces, Bluetooth, Ethernet, that you can use. You can start capturing packets. And what are packets? So packets are basically just data being transferred from one thing to another. So when we were doing those ping requests, we were sending data to one of the VMs, and then we were getting data back. And so what Wireshark does is it captures all that data. It captures passwords being entered on the specific network that you asked to be captured on. So here, I'll click on here, and it looks like it actually started one. So I'll stop the capture, but so it already started capturing some data on that network, and it'll just keep going. It'll just keep capturing every little piece of information that it can. So what are some like handy tools in Wireshark? Well, so the one thing that you kind of notice is these are the individual packets, and you click on them, and when you click on an individual one, this section changes, and so that kind of gives you more information about that individual packet. So this is just all the packets. This is the unique information about it, and this bottom part is the raw data, kind of like the machine language that is the packet. And so there is ways to convert this into plain text, but that's above my understanding. But that is possible to do that. So then what else can you do on Wireshark? You can filter. So say you wanted to look up specific protocols, like you can see DNS or TCP. So I can do HTTP, or as you can see, DNS, or does it have to be lowercase? Yeah, it has to be lowercase. So, and then you can search by it. You can also, there's several other things that you can do in here. You can, where is it? Yeah, filter toolbars. There's a way to change the coloring. So you can make it so all the TCP are red or all the DNS are blue. You can filter. You have options of what you want to capture. So say I only want to capture certain things on this network, like I only want to capture DNS. You can have it so it only captures those things. And then you can also export. So the export is, where is it? View. export, yeah, sorry, file export, and you can export them to specific documents. You can specify packets. You can just do it to text documents. And so all of your information will then be on there. And so that information is really helpful to blue teams when they're looking up if anybody's infiltrated a system, if there's been any malicious activity, if there's a virus on there. The blue teams use this to monitor any information that's looking irregular. But then it also can be used by red teams, or hackers. A lot of times you'll see this in coffee shops. Somebody will be sitting down and they'll be on the same network as a lot of these people. So they're just capturing all this data. They can see if someone logged into their email or their bank account, and they can get those passwords, which is really unfortunate. But one tool that I wish Wireshark had, it doesn't, I wish it shared more about how to find weaknesses in some of these packets. I wish it was more clear on, that's just kind of like a limitation of it. It just tells you the information about the packet. It doesn't tell you like if there's any weaknesses that it found. That would be really helpful. And then while you're capturing packet, there's no really way to search within the packet for specific things that you're looking for. You can search for the protocols, but it would be helpful to search for passwords, like raw data that you're looking for while a capture is happening. So that's something I wish it also had. So that's been my tutorial through my lab environment and through this handy tool called Wireshark. I appreciate you listening. Thank you.